The top 4 harness straps should have been pre-adjusted, and the bottom 2 straps should be fully slackened. Hold breath. Grasp the bottom 2 or 4 harness straps either side of the head pad and stretch apart to make a wide opening. Insert the chin into the respirator, locating positively in the chin cup, and pull the harness over the head. Tighten the bottom 2 straps by grasping the free ends and pulling until a light tension is felt. Run the hands quickly over the harness and the edge of the respirator to ensure that it is securely fitted to the head and that there are no twisted straps. Blow out hard. The removal procedure is as follows. Slacken the bottom 2 harness straps by grasping the ends of the buckle bodies and pulling them outwards away from the straps. The straps can then run through the buckle bodies. Grasp the respirator by the primary speech module, known as the PSM, in one or both hands. Pull the respirator well forward off the face and lift it upwards and then backwards over the head. The FM-12 respirator would normally be fitted with a canister on the left-hand side and a secondary speech transmitter, known as an SST, on the opposite side. It may, however, be necessary to swap the canister and the SST for left-handed wearers, the procedure for which is as follows. Remove the canister. Unscrew the SST and replace it in the other side of the respirator. Ensure that the SST is fully tightened onto the rubber gasket. Put on the respirator. Next, carry out a negative pressure leak test by blocking the canister mount and breathing in deeply. The respirator should collapse onto the face. If it does not, then the SST is probably poorly fitted. If this is the case, remove the respirator and refit the SST until a satisfactory seal is achieved. Fit the canister ready for use. Monocles for sight correction are supplied as a pair. Each monocle frame has a wide and a narrow arm to ensure correct fitting. The monocle is always fitted with the curve of the lens away from the eye and the wider arm towards the centre of the respirator. Feed the wide arm into the wide socket of the eyepiece body. Spring the narrow arm into the narrow socket on the opposite side of the eyepiece body. Ensure that both arms are securely located into the sockets. Put on the respirator to ensure that the correct prescription has been supplied. To remove the monocle, remove the respirator and reverse the above procedure. To fit the tinted outsert, hold the respirator with fingers pressed on the inside of the lens. Push the outsert onto the lens. The outsert should then pop on. The FM-12 respirator is fitted with an integral drinking system which allows the wearer to drink water without removing the respirator. This requires a modified canteen cap which matches the in-service water flask. The drinking procedure is as follows. Remove the stopper from the canteen cap. Withdraw the drinking coupler from its housing and unwrap the drinking tube from the PSM. Insert the drinking coupler into the canteen cap firmly to ensure positive location. Push the lever on the shut-off valve spindle downwards until it stops. This positions the mouthpiece in front of the mouth and opens the shut-off valve. Turn the water flask upside down and blow gently through the mouthpiece to create a slight overpressure. Water can then be drunk by sucking gently through the mouthpiece. If no water flows, carry out the following checks. First, check that there is water in the water flask by shaking it. Secondly, check that the drinking coupler is pushed far enough into the canteen cap to open the valves. Check that the shut-off valve is fully open. When enough water has been drunk, turn the water flask the right way up. Blow back through the mouthpiece to drive all water from the drinking system back into the water flask. Push the lever shut-off valve spindle upwards to close the shut-off valve and remove the mouthpiece from the mouth. Remove the drinking coupler from the canteen cap. Replace the stopper. Wrap the drinking tube around the PSM and replace the drinking coupler into its housing. The shut-off valve must be closed after drinking by pushing the lever on the shut-off valve spindle fully upwards until it stops. Only water should be taken through the drinking device. Sterilize the drinking device as soon as practical after use to prevent the possibility of bacterial growth. The FM-12 respirator will continue to give high levels of protection and long service life only if it is properly maintained and correctly stored when not in use. Do not store in direct sunlight or exposed to extremes of temperature, next to electrical motors, under heavy objects that could crush it, or with any sharp objects that could puncture the rubber. When stored in its haversack, it should not be folded and should be kept in a clean and dry environment. The respirator should be stored intact, with no parts removed, to ensure that it works properly when needed for immediate use. More information can be found in the FM-12 User Handbook and the FM-12 Maintenance Manual. Take care of your FM-12 respirator. Your life could depend on it.